What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Live Game Season 6 episode. No, sorry, Season 3, Episode 6. I'm your co-host, Marcus. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Oh my God. Hey, Herman, I thought he forgot everybody else's name.
Yeah, I'm so done already.
This is the perspective on football. Be sure you see, y'all messed me up. Joining us on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
Brian, say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
And Mark, say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
And joining us for the first time to lay a game is none other than Greg. Say what up, Greg. Welcome.
What's up, y'all?
What's up? Yay!
Thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining us.
Before we get started tonight, I want to encourage everyone to, if you're watching on YouTube, to like, share, and subscribe. Help us get these likes and views up. Catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Live Game. Catch us on Twitter at The Live Game 3. And catch us on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. All right, so Marcus hosting tonight. Go ahead and take start us off, Mark.
First of all, thank you very much, Gregory, for joining us today. We're happy to have you. Hope you come back again to see us and enjoy yourself. Just sit back, relax. We're gonna have some fun. All right. So the overview of the night's game. We're gonna talk about a couple of hot topics in the NFL, a couple of injuries that's going on. Review last week's picks that we chose. Some good, some bad, some interesting picks. The weekly pick of the primetime games for the upcoming week. We're gonna talk about. Guest host Gregory's going to share some stuff with us, and our final thoughts for the day. So, you guys ready? Ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. On the NFL covert update news, there's been 8 teams schedule has been revamped for the upcoming week. Bless you.
Corona.
See how that's going to affect. Also, we've got a couple of players that had tested positive in the COVID-19. It was coming back, like Mr. Cam Newton. He's due to come back here shortly. Also, just got final news today that the Pro Bowl has been canceled for this upcoming year.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be slated to be in the Vegas. I'm pretty sure it'd been a nice place to go visit, to go check it out. But they do have it for the next the following year, 2021. So with that said, speaking of some injuries, we had the Washington football team who somehow Mr. Alex Smith got back in the rotation again. You guys remember in one of the early shows I talked about that. There's possibility it'd be surprised to see him in there, and he was. We start off with our Mr. Resident Washington team, Mr. Marcus. What do you think about that one, Marcus?
I mean, to be honest, I was kind of scared for the dude. I felt like that was the wrong team to have to come in and relieve. I think he was sacked like 7 times. I mean, that's
he was sacked 7 times in the game when he came in.
I believe
he was sacked somewhere between 8 and 9 times.
Like 6 or 7.
Yeah, he was.
Aaron Donald had 4 by himself.
Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, so that's not the best team that to make a comeback on. So I was a little worried. I mean, it's a feel good story. He made the comeback. It's with such a gruesome injury. But like I said, I wish it would have been somebody else. I mean, he survived it, but that was scary seeing all them sacks and like that first hit especially. I was like, oh, he's like, ooh, and you just hoping and praying for him. But it is, it is what it is. But I think the coach Ron, he said Allen is going back to starting, so he was just there for cleanup.
Yeah. And Kyle could have got back into the game. They said he cleared the concussion protocol, but they didn't want him to get back in there. So, but yeah, you're right. The line is some trash. It is garbage. And
I mean, I know it was Aaron Donald on the Rams, but come on, 7 sacks on the dude that just coming back like that. You really don't want to see that many hits. Yeah, it was nerve wracking and scary. You know, I would hate to have been his wife sitting up in there watching that.
Yeah, well, the wife and kids. The kids. Yeah. Herman, what you think about it?
Yeah, Marcus said it looked like it was the feel good story. I was terrified for that dude, for real. Aaron Donald jumped on his back. Aaron Donald jumped on this dude's back, like full on. No, and I don't even understand. If Allen was cleared to come back in and play, why would you not have put Kyle Allen back in? I didn't realize that Alex Smith got sacked 7 times or however many times in that game. I hate to say it, but I said it in another show. I said that Rivera he wanted to try out Haskins. He's done that. He wants to see what Kyle Allen has, and he's doing that now. And after hearing that Allen could have came back, I feel like he's trying to get he's trying to get Alex Smith off the books. I don't know how he's trying to do it. I'm gonna leave it like that. But I don't know why you would have left that dude in there and get sacked like that.
They had no Haskins wasn't there, so
no. You said Kyle Allen got cleared to come back in the game.
He got cleared to come back in the game. Yes, he could have came back. Yes,
that's crazy.
Maybe Allen was like, I ain't trying to get sacked.
That's crazy to me. But I mean, you know, it's the Washington football team, the WTF.
WFT, goddamn.
Yeah, well, I call it WTF.
What's the difference? Isn't it the same thing?
No, that's the same thing.
Oh.
No.
Greg, what you think about it?
Well, I like everybody else said, I was scared for the man too. But if I was Alex Smith, I would be offended that you're gonna put me in the game to clean up, let me get sacked like that, and I can't start the next week. I'm good enough to be in there to go take all them hits, but I can't start the next week.
That's a good point.
I don't think that's right.
I think he's definitely a better quarterback than Kyle Allen.
Oh, there's no question. If he's as healthy
so if he can start and take all that beat next, why he can start next week?
That's true.
Good
He's
point.
not Ron's man. Allen is Kyle Allen obviously his man.
Oh.
He don't want Haskins or Smith in there.
Yeah.
Brian, what you think, Brian?
Man, I was with all you guys, man. I never thought that in my life I would be sitting there praying to God that nothing happens to a Washington Redskin quarterback. I mean, like Herbert said, when Aaron Donald got on his back, I'm yelling at the screen. I'm like, "Get over! What are you doing?" I'm praying for Allen to go down, and it was just a sight to see. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I'm glad he made it out unscathed. I'm glad he got the hits in. He actually did really terrible in the game. He wasn't a factor. But the fact that he did come back from all those surgeries was a thing. And he definitely gets my vote for comeback player of the year.
After one game?
Yep, that's all he needed. Herman, you saw his leg.
Yeah.
You saw his leg, okay? That dude should have never touched the field in life, okay?
That's very
He shouldn't even coach his kids in life.
He shouldn't even play flag football.
Nope.
That was.
Mark, you still there?
Mark.
Nope.
You're not there? He's still.
No, he's
Mark,
there. We can't hear you though, Mark. All right. Well,
we have technical difficulties.
Yeah, let's move on to the next subject while Mark works out his technical difficulties. So
let's pass it on to Gregory. Let Gregory do it.
Hey, leave him come. Leave and come back, Mark. Leave and come back.
So all right. So the Falcons fired their head coach and their GM this week.
Ow.
Not a big surprise.
A surprise they finally pulled the trigger, wasn't it?
I mean, a lot of people would say it was long overdue anyway. So let's get into that one. Brian, what you think about that?
Man, like we were just trying to allude to, man, that thing was way overdue. I don't know how the heck that dude made it to this year. They should have cleaned house last year, and they may have had a better chance this year at being more successful. But for some particular reason, his specialty, which is defense, is garbage, and this offense just isn't healthy right now. I mean, they didn't have a chance last week. against Green Bay when they played them. You know, they didn't have their number one running wide receiver. They really don't have a great running game, and they're just all over the place. So it's good to go ahead and clean house, but they should have did this last week. They could have been starting with a fresh regime this year.
Greg, what you think on this firing?
I think it's overdue too. After they blew that lead with the Super Bowl, and then how they came out and they blew the lead to us, and then they blew the lead again the next. He should have been gone.
Marcus?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Joe said he is frozen.
I mean, after that first debacle with New England, I would have fired him then in the Super Bowl. It was long overdue, man. That team is ferocious, man. I just hope that Raheem Morris can get something out of them. I mean, they got talent in that organization. It's the matter of them getting all pulled together and getting them to play well. Marcus, did we get the chance to talk to you?
No,
did you say anything about?
I do disagree with you on one point. I wouldn't have fired him after the Super Bowl. I mean, it was New England, and Tom Brady, and also I think the reason why he didn't get fired, I think Kyle Shanahan took a lot of blame for that loss as well. That wasn't just Dan. That was on Kyle Shanahan as well. But like you said, yeah, I mean, it was long overdue. After the Cowboys came back and beat them, and then the next week, who was the other team that came back and beat them?
The Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah,
with Trubisky.
The Bears.
No. Foles came back to that.
Yeah. I mean, there was the writing was on the wall then. It was like, come on, man. I mean, I understand people don't like to fire people, the middle of the season, but it's just for all that, talent, especially on offense that the Falcons had. For them not to be able,
wasting the quarterback.
Yeah, just wasting Julio Jones and just, and it's like I said, it's long overdue. I'm not surprised, but they like I said, they got rid of the coach, they got rid of the GM. They was like, nah, none of that. All y'all man was gone.
Yep.
Over time.
So we'll see. We'll see what Raheem Morris do, but he wasn't that great in Tampa Bay. So maybe he's learned a lot since then. We'll see.
Yeah,
he wasn't that great. He wasn't that great in Washington either.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was overdue too.
He was decent with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh Lord. I think it was overdue.
He's in Tampa.
But Marcus, I agree with you on the
secondary coach for y'all.
Tampa.
Hey, just in Tampa?
Mm-hmm.
You sure? Okay.
Marcus, I agree with you. The year that after they blew the Super Bowl, they lost in the divisional round the following year. So they were right back in there. Mm-hmm. And like Marcus said, Kyle Shanahan, he took most and all of the blame for that. I was a little shocked at the GM's firing, but I guess the GM had backed the head coach, so he knew that if it didn't work out, he was going with him. So, I think that it was definitely time. He probably should have fired him last year, so they could have started fresh this year. But a big part of their problem too is their offense does have a lot of talent, but Julio Jones, he can't stay on the field. That dude he's off the field hurt a lot. And they have, like you said, they have no running game. Brian said they have no running game. It's their offense, they can put up points, but the defense is just atrocious. I mean, they're just not doing anything. It's really interesting that they picked the D coordinator to actually take over, considering how bad the defense is.
I think that was just because he was the only one with some head coaching experience on this.
No, they have don't they have Cutter from the he was a head coach. I think
Derek Cutter?
Yeah, I think that's his name. But I think they have other experienced head coaching experience, because they were saying it was down to basically those two. So way overdue, but they finally pulled the trigger, so now they can move forward.
Well, I'll tell you what, who is available for a GM job? Bill O'Brien. He can come in there. He can come in there. He can trade away Julio, Matt Ryan, Ridley. He can get rid of everybody.
He can clear the whole house out.
Clear the whole house out. Destroy another team for a couple years.
Yeah, he can take over both positions, right, Marcus? He be the head coach and the GM again.
Speaking of another franchise with a quarterback that's up and coming, Justin Herbert. He played against they giving him the reins and the Chargers. What you guys feel about that? What do you think about that one? We start off with you, Brian.
Justin Herbert has been very impressive. He really is not really playing with any type of fear. That dude is relentless. He has the arm. He has the tenacity. He has the pocket presence to get out of danger and throw the ball while running across the field, across his body to get a first down. I don't understand how what was the head coach's name?
Anthony Lynn.
Anthony Lynn could even have thought about bringing Tyrod Taylor back in when you just drafted this dude and he is just lighting up the NFL.
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
My opinion, and I might have said this before too on the show. This was ownership's decision. I watched their entire Hard Knocks. This was ownership's decision. Because I believe Anthony Lynn was 100% behind Tyrod Taylor, and he was going to bring Tyrod Taylor back. And ownership came down and basically told him, no, we're going to go with this rookie. It was either ownership or the GM. But I believe that Anthony Lynn was behind Tyrod. And I kind of lost my train of thought on what I was getting ready to say. But that's what I think it boils down to is that – that's what I was going to say. Justin Herbert, he's definitely lighting it up, and he's putting up stats, and he does look good. He is going to be an NFL quarterback. There's no doubt about that. But they're not winning games. And, the stats, he can put up all the stats he wants. They need to start winning some games. And I'm not saying they're losing games because of him, but they're not winning them because of him.
Yeah, because that last game, he got them down there to win, to get the field goal to win, and the daggone kicker want to clank it.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
So he did all he really. Mm-hmm. He could have, I guess in overtime, maybe had done something to tie it up, and he didn't. But I don't know. I was very impressed.
Tyrod was 1-0, and Herbert is 0-3, 0-4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Herman. I think that it came from higher up as far as not letting Tyrod get back in there. I think they wanted to see that number one draft choice in there. And he has a pretty release. He throws a pretty ball. And the kid is poised. He's gonna be nice for him.
They say that dude is big as Cam.
Yeah, he's large.
I was just gonna say that if you watch the game, that Monday night game, you can tell he's tall because he's surrounded. Like you feel like he's about to get sacked. He just throws it over everybody. And I was like, man, that dude is really tall. But like Herman said, I'm not one to tout conspiracy theories, but I'm just saying, it's mighty convenient that the doctor punched Tyrod Taylor alone. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna say too much about it.
Hey, Marcus, you like Joe. Joe talking about some hidden racism.
I'm just saying it's mighty convenient, but
you think the doctors was in on it too, huh?
I'm not saying. I'm just. All I'm saying is it's mighty convenient.
Oh no! I just think, man, just bench the dude. Why you gotta try to kill him? Just bench him. Just say, dog, we ain't got enough for you.
Yeah, Darren said he's 6'6". Yeah, that's tall. That's a big dude.
That's a big boy.
That's a big dude. That's a big boy.
I think he got Cam because I think Cam is only 6'5", but I think Cam is 243 or 244.
And so far, like I said, Herman said he hasn't been winning games, but his stats have been pretty good. I mean, he got a 107.1 rating. Has over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
And then the other key thing is he hasn't been the reason why they lost the game. He has not.
He hasn't. I'm not going to say he's been the reason.
No, not at all.
He hasn't been. He hasn't.
Yeah. But he's not winning. They're not winning.
Hey, look, he hasn't been the reason, but Tyrod could do everything he's doing right now.
Exactly.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think so too.
But I think
Tyrod could do everything. If Tyrod didn't get his
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Greg.
If Tyrod lung didn't get punctured, they might would have won a couple more games, but he could do everything this boy is doing right now. Only reason they got to keep him in is because he's young and he's a rookie. They don't want to mess him up. But Tyrod could do everything he's doing, man.
Yeah, Tyrod doesn't. He wasn't known. He was known for protecting the ball. He doesn't. You know, he doesn't.
But he
turn
wasn't
the ball
known for
over.
going deep. Now he wasn't going deep on him. He was a
Nah.
dig and dunk type quarterback.
That's okay. He was a game manager. You know, he managed the game. But again, I
see more upside with.
Yes, of course. But you know, management and this came from the GM level. I truly believe it. I really do.
All right, we're gonna move on to another hot topic. Le'Veon Bell has been released from the New York Jets.
We need to get Mark on this one. I know his mouth is just watering.
He became a free agent today at 4 p.m. And you know, since he signed a 4-year, $52.5 million contract back in March of 2019, he's only put up 863 yards, 3 touchdowns, 69 passes caught for 500 yards, and only scored 1 touchdown over the 17 games. He has never rushed for 100 yards while he's with the Jets. Tell me, fellas, what do you think about this? Go ahead, Gregory. I'll let you start it off.
Well, I think it was a good move to let him go. But for one, they're paying him all that money, he ain't doing nothing, and then he causing problems in the locker room, making tweets and deleting them and all that stuff. Like, you can't be doing all that if you want to stay on the team. And he's washed up.
You think he's already?
Say washed up.
I don't know if he washed up.
If he gets with the right club, he get with the right club.
You gotta get with the right team.
Yeah, he still got some tread left on his tires, I believe.
How old is he?
The right team.
28.
Yeah, he's still good.
Brian, what you think about it?
Man, I agree with Gregory on the point that it was time for him and the Jets to leave. There was just too much animosity. When he got that deal, he did not have the head coach or the general manager that he has now. So neither one of them were really on board with it.
That's right.
Yeah. So neither one was really on board. The head coach is on record already stating he wasn't happy with the deal. So it was time. He couldn't. He obviously didn't know how to use Le'Veon to the best of his abilities. I don't think he's washed up. I mean, he had a whole year off, and like you were saying with those statistics, he should have done more. He should have been better. As bad as the Jets are, even if he was with whoever, he should have made that team better. He should have had more yards. He should have had more touchdowns.
His production should have been a lot better than that.
Yes. People should have been narrowing down on trying to shut him down, and then they shut down the team. But he never seemed to get that, and they never seemed to get on the same page on trying to use him properly. So, I mean, I think if he gets with the right team, he got his money. He got his money for this year. The Jets have to pay him. So whatever he gets now is going to be a bonus on top of that. So he could go to any type of contender. I mean, they're already throwing out Chicago. They're throwing out New England. They're throwing out Kansas City. And I can't remember the other team that they were throwing out that would
Chargers
benefit.
Another one.
The Chargers, yeah. Where he wouldn't have to be the bell cow, but he could come in and compliment them. I mean, if he ever went to the Chiefs, you could cancel Christmas, okay? That's ridiculous. But
I'll tell you another team in there that could be thrown in that is the Arizona Cardinals. The coach, their running back coach, James Saxon, used to be his coach in Pittsburgh. I think Arizona's running game is not that great right now. And like you said, he'll be great with a team that'll use him as, they use him as a 1-2 back, accountability to somebody who already is there. But their marriage and the Jets between him and Adam Gates didn't start off well anyway. From day one, they was talking about him in the camp before the season even started. So it's amazing that it lasted this long because of how they started out. Herman, what you think about it?
Yeah, it was one of those amicable, divorces that needed to happen. As for his production, yeah, it should have been better. But I mean, when you're dealing with a bad, what is Darnold in his third year?
Third. Yeah.
Bad line, just a bad offense all around. It's easy to shut down that one, running back or that one player. So it's like
Gregory Dog. That's it.
So it's like it's easy to see why his production was bad. If he goes to a team with a good line and a good OC that's going to use him, I think you're going to see a little bit of what you saw when he was with Pittsburgh. Somebody's going to get him on the cheap because the Jets have already paid him. So now he can go looking for that ring, possibly. That's kind of hard to pick out right now.
Yeah.
Though the way that the season is, like you really don't know who a contender is. Maybe he goes to Green Bay. I know they got Aaron Jones, but he could be a compliment, and he's a pass catcher too. So
him and Aaron Rodgers will be woo.
But he might be smart to sit back for a little bit and let the season go on a little bit, get himself a little healthy, and then he can identify a contender. Because right now, the people are contenders right now are like the Chiefs. Who else?
The Ravens, Green Bay.
Steelers.
Yeah, so you got a few, but they could drop off too because you just don't know how COVID's going to affect everything.
Hey, Herman, that makes a lot of sense too because you don't know how many injuries may happen in this season too. You may end up getting a bigger payday because a contender loses a starting running back.
Yeah,
that's true. Marcus, what you think about it?
I mean, like y'all said, it was time. I think KC would be a good fit because right now they got that rookie running back in there. He's good, and they he's on the cheap right now. So then you could bring in Le'Veon and not have to worry about any kind of money. So that would be a great fit. And both of them are pass catching running backs. So that would really improve their offense. And like you guys said, I think Green Bay would also be a good fit. But Aaron Jones is already there.
I tell you another team.
And of course New England. And of course New England is always.
I tell you another team to benefit from is Buffalo. They got two young running backs up there, and they don't. They can use a pass catching back like Le'Veon out the backfield with Josh Allen. I think that'll be interesting to see too.
Yeah.
All right. The last topic we got of the week was that horrific injury from Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. He's done for the year.
No, ain't the most likely he is done.
Did he just say most likely?
Well, yeah, we didn't edit the as soon as it happened, I didn't take out the most likely part.
Hold on, Herman. Whoever put it on the rundown.
Right, that's what I said. I put it on the rundown.
So are you Will Ferrell now? And what's that movie he was in where you just read whatever goes green? Anchorman.
Anyway, okay, he's out for the rest of the season. Okay.
Anyway. First of all, whose week was it to edit the rundown again?
Whoever.
That would be the host, Herman.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That would be the host. The host that was off today too.
We don't need to get into backstage problems or issues that we had where the person couldn't get inside of it to do the changes. So we don't need to get into that.
All right.
But before we get started, can we just go up and throw before for that?
Yeah, let's throw up the four.
Gregory, you gonna throw the four up?
I think he might be frozen. Oh, okay. I thought he was frozen.
Yeah, man.
You see me?
Yeah,
you saw that injury, man, and your heart just dropped for him. That was so disheartening. Marcus, I'll let you start this one off, man.
I mean, as soon as I saw it, I was like, because I put it in the group, I was like, yeah, he's done. I mean, because I didn't even see it when it happened. I was looking down and I looked up and I just seen him on the ground and they had like right on his leg. I was like, oh, that dude is done. And, and much as I, dislike the Cowboys, I don't wish that on Dak. I'm very pro black quarterback, and he was having an amazing season. I mean, you can say it was garbage yards or whatever, but regardless, he was having an amazing season. He was doing a whole lot. And a lot of times I like to I gush on Mahomes and Watson and Lamar, but the only reason I don't do as much on Dak because he plays for the Cowboys. But Dak is definitely in that same category and in that same group. And just the outpouring that he got to tell you what kind of dude he is. He's an outstanding dude. Everybody was on Twitter giving him wishing him well, and then his neighbors set up a whole big old sign outside of their house, saying, wish you the best, get well, Dak. So that tells you, what kind of person he is in the community, and so I hate to see this happen to him, but he's young. Hopefully, he'll make a full recovery, and he'll be back.
Gregory, what you think about it?
Man, the crazy thing about that is watching the game play. I was calling for them to run back. I was calling for it. And then he ran and he got hurt. Oh, my man. I watched it when he got hurt. I couldn't watch it no more. That's one of those injuries I can't look at no more. When I seen his leg, his ankle to the side, I couldn't look at it no more. Man. Feel bad for the man.
When they show the replays now, they blur it out.
Yeah. They left it up there.
Yeah, but they wasn't blurring it when it came. Yeah. When I seen it that one time, I couldn't look at it.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Greg.
I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Brian?
Yeah, when it happened, all Cowboys fans, my heart and, just fell, and I just realized not only is my quarterback gone, but more than likely the season is gone. He was the main reason, that offense was the main reason why we were going to actually be able to win a few games this season. Outscoring people, not stopping anybody, because that defense doesn't stop at nobody, including Daniel Jones. But that's a whole nother conversation. But like you said, once I seen it, when he held his foot up and his foot tilted to the side, I knew it was broke. I knew his season was over. The tears in his eyes gave me tears in my eyes. And like Gregor said, it was tough to watch, the rest of the game, knowing that Dak is going to go to the hospital. Luckily, the surgery went well. He tweeted out a picture with his brother, and it was successful. And, just prayers for Dak, and, we'll just have to do this next year.
Herman?
Yeah, like everybody said, it was definitely hard to watch. Dak is bigger than just the quarterback, for the Cowboys. He's that team. He's the leader of that team. And you could see that on all the players' faces. And, the outpouring and the for his well-being by the entire league. I mean, across sports and across, just the United States was huge. And it just goes to tell you how loved he is and how much of a good guy he is. And just knowing the things that Dak has been through, this is just another bump in the road for him. Dak is very strong, and that from the things that he's gone through in his personal life. Wish him the best. It's more than just football. You wish him the best. You wish him a speedy recovery, and he'll be back. Dak's gonna be okay. Everybody's got a lot of opinions about Cowboys not paying him and everything. Dak's gonna be okay. I want to see him wearing that star on his helmet, and I think he wants to wear that star on his helmet. But if Dallas is dumb enough to play games and not pay him, and he gets away, Dak's gonna be okay. Dak is he's special. He's a special type of talent. He doesn't have all the talent, but he has the talent plus the intangibles. And when you mix that together, you got a good quarterback on that can be great. So he'll be okay.
And not only is he a great guy, he's also a smart guy. When he signed that franchise, when they franchised him, he took out an insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
All quarterbacks do that. That's
that's
practice.
Okay.
Yeah. Just in case, just for this case, that you can still bet on yourself. But all quarterbacks, actually all players that are playing on the franchise tag normally get some type of insurance.
And it's a smart move. It's smart.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
Mm-hmm. All right, last topic we're gonna get into a little bit is Melvin Gordon, the running back for the Denver Broncos. Well, he could be facing suspension in the next game against the Patriots for a DUI. Gordon was pulled over in his vehicle after he was clocked going 71 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. Officers noticed Gordon's speech was slurred. Breath had a moderate odor of unknown alcohol beverage. his balance, and he was swaying. Eyes was watery. He didn't pass the field sobriety test. I mean, how many times can we say it? Pay somebody to drive, man. You got Uber, you got Lyft,
you got an entourage.
Entourage.
I mean, yeah, you gotta pay somebody else to drive, man. You can't be out there doing this. So, Green Bay is going to be looking for the other guy, Philip Lindsay, is finally coming back from his injury to probably carry the pill until this gets shit worked out. But anyway, we're moving on. We're going into our picks for last week. A couple of games, had some pretty good games.
Hey, did anybody get Johnson that hat? Did Johnson need that hat this week?
No, I don't think he needed
I don't
that.
think he needed it.
Nah.
All right. The first game we had was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Chicago Bears. I can't remember what was the score in that game.
The score on this game was
19-20.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you. 19-20, and the Bears pulled this out. Surprisingly enough, Marcus, who'd you have in this one?
Of course, I picked the Buccaneers. I didn't think the Bears were gonna come in there and do what they did. I mean, I really don't know what the problem was. Brady was 25 for 41, 253 yards, 1 touchdown. They had Ronald Jones. He carried 17 times for 106 yards, average 6.2 yards a carry. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Tampa Bay they need to get this stuff together, and it was kind of embarrassing at the end. When Tom Brady didn't know what down it was.
Yeah.
It's almost like he predicted what would happen with that because he up there throwing up 4s2 at the end of the game.
Right.
So I picked the Bucs. I never expected the Bears to come in and win that, but that's what you get when you get Nick Foles. Nick Foles wins games. So I gotta tell you,
He didn't win the week before.
Yeah, that's true.
Herman, who you have in this one?
Yeah, I had the Bucks on this one too. Like Marcus said, nobody really expected the Bears to. I mean, we all underestimated the Bears. I think Marcus, what happened with Tampa is this is what you're seeing when you still got a coach and the quarterback adjusting to each other, and kind of still working out a little bit of the kinks. Brady had a pretty good game. Foles was kind of stinking it up at first, but then he kind of got into a rhythm. Foles throwing for 42 times to me is too much. But they're struggling. Chicago's struggling with their run game, so maybe Bell could come in and help them with that because David Montgomery had 10 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah,
that's
2.9 yards a carry.
Yeah, that's not going to get it. So I picked the Bears. I picked that one wrong. I mean, I'm sorry. I picked the Bucks. Got it wrong.
Okay, Brian.
Yeah, I think we all on this panel was riding the Buccaneers, not really feeling what the Bears was doing. But I'm gonna tell y'all what the problem was that Bears defense. The Patriots. The Buccaneers kicked 4 field goals in that game. So when they got down into the money time, they couldn't punch it in, and they're kicking field goals instead of touchdowns. Tampa was the better team offensively on there. They should have won this game. But when they got down to the points where they needed to get those touchdowns instead of those field goals, they had to keep kicking field goals.
Yeah. On this one, I chose the Bucks also. I think that, like you said, the defense was a big factor. Only getting the Bears only rushed for 35 yards through the whole game. I thought that was shocking. And you're right, they can use some help in the running game. Did you see how Bruce Arians cleared up for Tom Brady because they asked him again about his quarterback and whether or not that he knew it was 4th down, and Bruce Arians said, "Yeah, he knew it. He knew what it was." Brady didn't know what it was. It was 4th down.
Brady, he didn't know what it was.
No,
he's trying to say something like Brady was in the moment or some other dumb.
Yeah, yes,
Brady
but he didn't throw the quarterback under the bus this time. Not this time. Greg, who you have on this one, Greg?
I had the Bucks. And I didn't think the Bears had a chance at all. But they shocked me, like y'all said, with the defense line. I just thought Tom was going to come out and ball out. I just didn't think I thought he was going to put up at least 40 points, man. But I had the Bucks, and I took an L on this one.
All right. The next game we had on tap was the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks won this one 37-36. This one I couldn't go to sleep on, man.
27-20.
What I say, 26-27?
You said 36.
37.
I said 27. Well, I supposed to be saying 27.
We can go back. It's okay.
Brian, you start us off since you're talking now.
All right, so
who'd you have in this one?
I did pick this one correctly. I did pick the Seahawks, even though the Vikings came off of that nice little win against Houston. That dude Russell, he continues to be the chef, and he's just carving up NFL defenses. I mean, he went at the end of that game. It was like a minute 42. He had like a 13-play, 94-yard score to win the game. It's just crazy, and the Vikings were all over him the first half of this game, but you can't never count them out. And as bad as the Seahawks defense is, Russ is just good enough to keep them competitive and got them to what, 4-0?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, 5-0. 5-0. So I did pick the Seahawks, and they were victorious.
Gregory, who you having this with, Gregory?
I had the Seahawks, and like Holly said, Russell Wilson, man, you give him the ball at the end of the game, you're going to get the job done. You're going to get the job done. Russell Wilson for MVP. He's saying I'm saying too.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Look, after last night, I'm back on the Russ Rabbit.
Yeah, I believe so.
Hey.
Yeah, I took Seattle on this one too, man. Russell. And then what was crazy was, right before his drive, Minnesota had went for it on 4th and goal. But they were deep down in territory. You figured, hey, look, they gotta score over 90 yards, less than 2 minutes. It was like, this ain't gonna happen. Russell came out and did it. He was fantastic. He was fantastic with it. He's getting my vote for the MVP so far. He's getting it. Herman, who'd you have on this one?
Yeah, I had Seattle also. It was a good game when Dalvin Cook went out. That hurt Minnesota. That affected Minnesota big time. I think you put Dalvin Cook in there on that 4th down run, and I think he's getting that 1st down. That being said, I didn't like the call. You had a chance to go up by 8.
Took the field goal?
Yeah, I think you should have took the field goal. And I know that's Monday morning quarterbacking or whatever, but when you have a quarterback like Russell Wilson on the other side of the field, and I mean, your defense was playing pretty good. Minnesota's defense was playing pretty good, but you need to respect that quarterback on the other side of the field. And worst case scenario was they could tie you. I think I take that and play defense rather than failing on that 4th down play and not getting it, and then he goes down the field and you lose. Interesting thing is, had there been fans in the stadium, he probably would have kicked the field goal. I don't think he would have went for it on 4th down. So once again, COVID has messed with the game.
Marcus, who'd you have in it? I
mean, I don't know. You ain't gonna ask me. I'm never picking Captain Kirk and his team, so I'm always going with whoever they're playing against. But of course, I picked Seattle. I mean, like we said, Russell Wilson is having an MVP season. And they like Brian said, they shut him. They pretty much shut him down in the first half. He came to life second half. He was 20 for 32 for only 217 yards, but 3 touchdowns. So like you said, and like you said, Herman, you gotta remember who the other quarterback on the side of that sideline is, and he should have kicked that field goal. And can we please stop saying that Russell does not have any weapons? Because DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are definitely weapons.
No, look at Herman's face. Look at Herman. He still don't believe it. Yeah. Look at his face.
I shook my head, yes.
He still don't believe it. Yeah, you should get that thing on your face. Yeah.
I mean, they showed that DK Metcalf workout video during that game. I was like, dude.
Hey, look, Marcus, one of y'all got to let Herman have DK Metcalf in fantasy. And then he agreed with y'all.
I've had Tyler Lockett 2 seasons of fantasy, and he got me mad points.
No, I know, yeah. I know they do. I've had Lockett.
So we need to stop that. He definitely has weapons. And so
He don't have no line though. He running for his life.
yeah, he ain't
That
got
is
no
true.
line. He ain't got no line. He ain't got no line. Yeah, you can't deny that. There's no line. But yeah, I pick Seattle.
All right. Moving on to the Monday night game was the LA Chargers taking on the New Orleans Saints. This game went to overtime. The Saints ended up winning at 30-27. But man, this was a fine game for the young quarterback. Gregory, we're gonna start you off with it. Who did you have in this game, Gregory?
I picked the Saints, and at the beginning of the game, I was scared because the Saints came out playing like some dude early. They was not looking good at all at the beginning of the game. But so Drew Brees, he ended up getting it together. But I picked the Saints.
Gregory, ask Marcus about his attire.
Oh, my man got the hat on. Wait a minute,
We'll get we're gonna get to that one in a second. Herman, who did you have in it, Herman?
Yeah, I had the Saints. Breeze finally showed a little bit. He's starting to trust his receivers a little bit. I think we'll probably see the Saints of old when Thomas comes back.
He should have been back. He should have been back in that game.
Yeah, he should have been. That's true.
Kamara
had 11 carries for 45 yards. Emmanuel Sanders, though, 12 receptions for 122 yards. So once he gets Thomas back and he's trusting Sanders, you might see that dominant offense again. But I picked the Saints. The rookie's not winning yet. We talked about it earlier, and I just couldn't see him winning that game.
Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, I had the Saints in this game as well. And, like Herman said, I mean, Breeze kind of shows it, but I still don't think that this offense is the type of offense that will throw a bomb, to score quickly. It's a lot of 10, 11, 12, 13-yard passes that Drew Brees does. And sometimes he has time in the pocket, but he just doesn't seem to want to let it go. It's really all about, like Herman said, about Kamara, and it was about Sanders. They did what they had to do. The defense had a good, couple good plays in it, but they weren't as dominant as they have been in the past. So they did sneak this one out, in overtime because actually they had the game won. But again, if a kicker could just kick a 50-yarder, without hitting the upright, then we would be talking about the Saints in a different light. So in that division, I'm not that keen on the Saints making the playoffs, but we'll see.
Oh, can I say one other thing too? Real
Who
quick.
gonna make the playoffs?
Tampa is going to be the other ones. Probably they might win the division. But Sean Payton, he's doing some really stupid stuff with Taysom Hill.
You think?
He's doing some really stupid
stuff.
I
Taysom Hill scored though.
Yeah, he scored.
But he's messing them up on plays that you don't really notice. Like it was he brings in Taysom Hill on 2nd and 7, and then he throws the ball. And like, if you're gonna throw, why wouldn't you go with your starting quarterback? Like, and he completed like a 3-yard pass or something like that. To me, he's doing stupid stuff with him, and he's throwing Drew Brees a little bit out of a rhythm, I think.
Yeah. I mean, in that game, they was talking about bringing in your boy, interception. James Winston.
Eat a W.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, on this one, I took the Saints also. The Saints, I mean, they started out in the dog hole in the house. They were losing 20-3. So luckily I didn't fall asleep on this one. I stayed up for this one. But they rallied back. They were able to put in overtime and kick the field goal and pull it out. And they had to come up with a defensive stop to stop them from advancing and getting this shot. Now we're in the fun segment of the show where.
Hey, just real quick before you go, Mark. Hey, did y'all see the little stat about this might have been Drew Brees' last Monday night game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably was if they don't play again. If they don't play again on Monday night this year,
they don't play again
is.
on Monday night this year,
No.
so that may, unless he comes back next year, which is not likely.
I don't think so either.
But they signed him already for to do
NBC. NBC
yeah.
supposed to be on NBC.
Yeah, so I think that's the last Monday night game.
Go
Now,
ahead and let
this the fun part of the show where out of all the picks we picked, somebody chose the losing team or the team they thought they were going that was going to win. So if you pick wrong, you got to wear the dunce hat. What looked like Marcus is wearing out the dunce hat. Marcus?
Yeah, you know, I had faith in Justin Herbert, and to be honest with you, the way that game started, it was like I was going to be right. I mean, they started off hot. The like you said, the Saints started off real slow, but you know, I should have known about Drew Brees. But you wanted to keep him down the whole game. But like Brian said, that's stupid kicker, man. Oh yeah, and he made a 58-yarder before the game started, and he got a nerve. What was his nickname? He got a nerve to have a nickname.
Money
Take
bag.
his nickname. Take his nickname back. He don't get no nickname now. You missing game winning field goal. You nobody. Take the number off it. Take the number off his jersey and his name. You just go out there and kick field goals. You don't get no recognition at all. Yeah, I picked the Chargers. It almost worked out for me though.
Spin it one more time for us.
Spin it one more time. You got to spin it at the end. There you go.
And it's more difficult to spin that thing than y'all realize.
All right. We're going to move on to the next game. We got the
just leave it for the rest of the segment, Marcus.
No.
We got the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Cleveland Browns. This one, the Cleveland Browns won it 32-23. Baker had a pretty decent game, man. 21 for 37, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But I think the two-headed monster running game is really what got them ignited and got them going. I picked who did I take in this one, y'all?
You picked the Saints.
I took the Colts. In this one, believe it or not. I was wrong. The Brownies pulled it out. Herman, who did you have?
Yeah, me and you both picked the Colts, and I was wrong. The old Phillip Rivers is rearing his ugly head once again. 21 for 33, 243 yards, 2 interceptions. Brissett could have did that. So, I'm not seeing the upgrade right now. The Colts defense is pretty decent though. At least it had been playing pretty decent. But yeah, picked the Colts. Got it wrong. Yeah, I think that's why I picked them. I thought their defense was gonna keep them in the game.
Their linebacker was out in that game. Their star linebacker was out.
Still, okay. Herman, I was with you. They had the number one defense going into the week, especially the secondary. Secondary playing tight, and they gave it up. They gave it up.
And I figured they could score on Cleveland because Dallas was able to score on Cleveland.
True.
Pretty much go up and down the field. So
true. Marcus, who's having this one?
I picked the Colts too. Like you said, I picked them mainly because of their defense. I wasn't expecting the Browns to come in and do the same, and win again. But like Herman said, it's Phillip Rivers. He throwing picks again, but Baker Mayfield though he threw 2 picks too.
Yeah, but he also threw 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was 21 for 37 for 247 yards. I don't know. It looks like, I hate to say it and be wrong and all, but it looks like the Browns might be a real contender this year. It's like that coach has come in there and has turned things around and got them playing really well. But I posted this video in the group. I don't know if y'all saw it. It was talking about the Cleveland Browns' new offense, and Baker Mayfield is a little trash. He's missing wide open routes and wide open dudes and like rolling out when he don't need to roll out, and the coach he got to work on that. He got to because in this video I posted, he showed a couple times with Baker. There was a wide open dude right in front of him. Baker just rolled out and threw the ball away. So, but they're winning despite of that, and so they actually might be a contender. But it's not an easy division with the Steelers and the Ravens in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so that's true. Gregory, who you have in this one, Greg?
I took the Browns. The Browns been balling, man.
Give a round of applause.
Hey.
He's the only one that picked the Browns.
The Browns been balling. Thank y'all. The Browns been balling, and the Browns are a contender. Y'all know that's the only division with 4 teams with 4 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 teams with 4 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's gonna be. Hey, don't sleep on the Browns.
I think this is the best record.
They whooped us like I got on the bandwagon.
I think this is the best record they've had with this early in the season since like 1990 something or something like that.
Since Belichick was the coach. When Belichick was last year the coach.
Yeah, Belichick was the coach.
Yeah. Yep. Brian, who'd you have in this one, sir?
So obviously we're congratulating Gregory because I picked the stupid Colts. I mean, it was just embarrassing. I don't feel the hype of the Browns. I don't attribute this to them being that good. It's a lot of gimmicks. They're winning in spite of Baker, like Marcus was trying to point out. They're running the ball very well. Their defense is on point. Garrett is it Garrett?
Mm-hmm.
Myles Garrett. He's on like trying to win like defensive player of the year this year. I mean, every time he turn around, he's harassing somebody's quarterback. And like Herman said, they could have put Brissett in there. At least Brissett would have got you some rushing yards.
Right.
That other dude's just back there like a statue. But I picked the Colts. It was a bad choice. I don't pick the Browns, and I'm never going to pick the Browns.
So we got the last game with the Buffalo Bills taking on the Tennessee Titans. And this one, this was a dominant game for the Titans. And I didn't think they were going to come back and do this well. Ended up being 42-16. Brian, I'll let you start us out with this one. Who'd you have in this?
Man, I listened to this dude on this panel who's always talking about Bills Mafia and all this other stuff. And I listened to this other dude who's talking about this guy is the MVP and he's playing all well. And then there's this other guy who's like, no, I don't believe it. Y'all are messing around. And I should have listened to that guy because this so-called MVP was horrible last night. Throwing picks, just terrible picks at terrible times. It just was not a good game. And the Titans, their defense was there when they needed it. They got 2 interceptions. They got a fumble. Henry wasn't really a strong factor, although he did get 2 touchdowns. But I mean, if you were wondering which team came off of the COVID virus, and didn't have
you would think it was Buffalo.
You would have thought it was Buffalo the way they played. I mean, Buffalo, It was weird too because they were like 70% efficiency on third downs, but they just kept turning the ball over. They turned the ball over 2 interceptions and 1 fumble, which is really what did them in. So I picked that one wrong.
Marcus, who'd you have in this one?
I also picked the Bills. My MVP candidate, one of my MVP candidates. He didn't play MVP-ish last night.
Yeah, did that MVP stuff now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just one game. He might make a comeback.
Dead.
And just like Brian said, you would have thought that it was the Bills that hadn't practiced in like 2 weeks, and and had players sick from COVID. But I do say that the Titans supposedly didn't practice. It looked like there was some practicing going on. The way they came out there and dominated, the way they came in there and dominated that doggone game. I mean, it was never close to being close. And I hate to dog a former Washington football team member, but Josh Norman, you need to sit your ass down somewhere. I don't know what.
No, stay in the league, Josh. You are comic rhetoric. We need you.
You need to sit your ass down somewhere. I don't know why you're gonna try to tackle him. Henry is a big dude. Okay, that dude is like a bulldozer. That dude is like a bulldozer. Either just fall down in front of him and just hope he trip on you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be the highlight like that.
Yeah, I'm with you guys too. I listened to that guy who talked about the Buffalo Mafia too, and they didn't do too well. Oh, it was me. Okay, I'm the guy. Yeah. Josh Allen came down to earth. He crashed this time, but you have to say, do you think that run from Derrick Henry? Well, you think that was worse than what Earl Thomas got spun around and did the blocking? You think that was worse?
I think it was worse.
I think so too. You know why it's worse to me? Because it was a play that didn't count. It's even worse.
Just the physical level of it is worse.
He wasn't even in like full speed running. When he was going against Earl, he was coming downhill, so that's a little more understandable.
Oh man, that did make my night though. That did.
It looked like a sixth grader pushing over like a kindergartner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On the playground, like
it did.
That's because what's the boy name? The cornerback.
Josh Norman.
The boy who got through. Josh Norman didn't want to hit that man.
Tre'Davious White got hurt. He didn't play that game.
Oh,
he didn't want that.
You say he automatically just said, "Hey, look, I ain't playing this game, y'all."
Yeah.
Man.
Herman, who would you take in this one, Herman?
You hit Gregory already?
Yeah, he hit him first.
Oh, okay.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I didn't think he did.
Huh?
Wait, you're supposed to have that on when it starts.
Oh yeah,
No,
great.
I won't be wearing this. I got it right.
Let Gregory go so Herman can have his time to shine.
Gregory, who did you have?
Yeah, I picked the Bills. I picked the Bills too, man. I thought just like everybody else said, because of the COVID thing and them not practicing, that the Bills was going to come out here and do what the Titans did, but I was wrong.
Okay, now wrong. Mr. Herman.
And Josh Norman, like Marcus said, needs to sit down.
Now, Mr. Herman, who did you have in this particular game?
I picked the Titans. And the reason why the Titans won this game is because of the guys on this panel last week who had the nerve to bring up Josh Allen as an MVP candidate over Russell Wilson.
I didn't say it was over Russell Wilson. I just say
it wasn't over. It wasn't over.
I believe your number had Josh Allen at the top of the list.
No, I never said that.
I think you did.
I said
never
a candidate. I said a candidate.
Anyway, your candidate, okay, was 26 for 41, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, a 69.4 QBR, and a 77.6 passer rating. I don't want to ever hear y'all mention Josh Allen on a segment and MVP unless we're talking about Russell Wilson first and Aaron Rodgers second, maybe Josh Allen third.
No.
Kamara might be third now.
Third no more. You're right, Herman.
Okay.
I think Kamara is third now.
But one game doesn't make an MVP season, and one game doesn't knock him out of an MVP race. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. But it's a thing I have about Josh Allen. It's a gut thing I have about him, and I want to see more.
You just don't like him.
It's not that I don't like him. I want to see more. I want him to prove more. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks that look like they might be good, and then they turn trash, or they play at certain times. They're good. Like let's see what he does in November.
I want to know what they did to Tannehill.
You know what I mean?
That dude was
Tannehill
garbage. Look how
he was, but he's got a lot more confidence. I think Tannehill's working better with his offensive coordinator now. He's got Derrick Henry.
His name is Arthur Smith. The dude might be up for coaching vacancy coming up. He's good. Their offensive coordinator.
They talked about that before the game.
The head coach too, the way he gets that team to play. Vrabel. I mean, I'm very impressed with his coaching ability. That tree, that Belichick tree. I mean, he's really showing some impressiveness.
But if y'all watch, if you watch Josh Allen and you watch, I've seen a couple of his games, see some of his highlights. Like if you watch that game, he was getting away with stuff. He was making throws similar to Trubisky, but he was getting away with them. That's the only difference, is he was getting away with them. He's been a little bit more lucky, in my opinion. But we'll see. I could be totally wrong, but I'm not convinced on Josh Allen yet. So I picked the Titans. And I got it.
You get to do it before. You don't get to do it after.
I get to do it after when you get it right. You get to do it afterwards.
All right. We'll get into week 6 prime games for next week, the picks. The first game we got is the Los Angeles Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Both of these teams, Rams are 4-1. The Niners are 2-3. We can start off with Marcus. Who you having? Or who you got on this one, Marcus?
You know, this season it seems like the Rams have made a resurgence, and the 49ers, even though they've gone down, but you can't blame them with all those injuries. What's that dude's name? Mozart. He's back. He played last week, so he's back. Yeah, Mozart. But I might have to go ahead and go with the Rams because right now, I mean, they're looking really good, and like I predicted, they just totally ran through the NFC least. Totally sweeped them. They're looking so. Which makes me kind of wonder though, because I mean that was an easy division to sweep. So now I'm wondering about have they really beat anybody? But I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Rams. They're looking like they did a couple years ago in the Super Bowl right now. So I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah, on this one, Marcus, I'm gonna jump on your back like Aaron Donald did on your quarterback. So I'm gonna jump on the Rams on this one. Jimmy Garoppolo was awful last week, man. He played awful. He was benched in that game. They said to save him, but I mean he was just awful. He was straight up awful. I don't think he was at 100% for one. San Francisco has given up 18 sacks so far this season. Aaron Donald had 4 in last week's game. Let's say I'm taking the Rams on this one. Who'd you got, Brian?
Man, you guys are right, and this is going to be one of those games with one of the two brightest offensive minds in the league going against each other in a divisional game. The way that Miami beat the brakes off of the Niners makes me like want to just go ahead and jump on that Rams bandwagon, but this is a divisional game, and they're going to play in San Francisco, and the only thing that makes me nervous is I don't know if Garoppolo is going to play, but I'm going to go out there on a limb, and I'm going to take the Niners.
Okay. Gregory, who you got on this one, Gregory?
Going with the Rams, man. The Rams are back like they was in the Super Bowl year. Defense is nice. Offense is nice. And the 49ers, man, I don't trust Garoppolo, like y'all said, man. And they said something, his injury still bothering him. Is he even going to play next week?
I don't know. I was online scaring the NFL, and I couldn't see.
I didn't get a definite yet. Not that he's going to be in there. So we shall see.
Yeah.
You taking the Rams, right? Okay.
Yep.
Herman, who you got?
All right. So our guest is going to be on the show next week, Darian. He's going with the Rams. I thought about this one, and it's interesting Brian went with the 49ers because I thought that I was going to have to lone wolf it, but I'm going with the 49ers on this one. It's a home game for them. They are getting Mostert back. Deebo Samuel is back, and I think he's going to be better this week. I think they walked into Miami and just got punched in the mouth, and they weren't expecting it. And Jimmy G wasn't ready to come back. I don't know if he's going to be ready this week, but I'm rolling with the 49ers on this one. It's just the feeling I have on it.
Okay. Next game we got is the 4-1 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 4-1 Buffalo Bills. And this one,
do we need to make this long?
No, I'm just going to make this. I'm just going to make this point real quick. We can get into it. Let me make this point. Somebody is going to be losing 2 games in a row, and I don't think it's going to be the Chiefs. So they're going to mind. I'm taking the Chiefs on this one. Brian, who you got?
Man, Vegas is only giving the Chiefs a +4. I mean, giving up 4 points for the Chiefs to give up on this particular game. But you're right, Mark. Somebody's going to lose 2 games, and it's Buffalo. Give me the Chiefs.
Marcus?
I mean, Chiefs. I don't even say no more than that, Chiefs.
Herman?
So Darian's taking the Chiefs, and I'm taking the Chiefs.
We knew you were
Gregory, take us out. What's your
Chiefs?
Not everybody.
I'm going with the Chiefs too, bro.
I can't see them losing 2 games in a row. I can't see that. All right, the next game we got is the Arizona Cardinals, the 3-2 Arizona Cardinals taking on the Dallas Cowboys at 2-3. We're gonna start off with Marcus on this one. Who you got, Marcus?
So, if Dak was in this game, I would probably pick the Cowboys. But you got no Dak. Dallas defense is terrible. You know, like he said, he's not there to make the, you know, if Arizona gets the lead early, he's not there to make the marvelous comeback. Even though Andy Dalton did that last week, but the Giants are not the Cardinals. I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Brian, who you got?
Cowboys. Cowboys. And I can't give you a legitimate reason why we're going to win. We really shouldn't. We lost both our tackles. We got a backup quarterback in the game. Like y'all been saying, the defense is a sieve, and Hopkins has feasted on our defense even when it was decent. So I know he's going to have a big game, but I just got a feeling that we're going to galvanize around this loss for Dak. We may not win any more games, but I got a good feeling we're going to win this one. Give me the Cowboys.
Marcus, who did you take again?
The Cardinals.
He took the Cardinals.
Okay. Gregory, go ahead. Who'd you say, Gregory?
Oh, I'm going with the Cowboys and the Red Bull. Don't fake on Andy Dalton. Like they said, Andy Dalton ain't never had no weapons like this. Now we're gonna be all right. I'm scared of Hopkins though.
Yeah. Hopkins is like a terrifying right now.
If you got Hopkins, I mean, you probably already starting him, but if you got Hopkins in your league, you better be starting this week.
Yeah.
In your fantasy,
man.
Marcus, I want to believe in the Cardinals, but something telling me Cowboys for some reason.
Am I going to lone wolf this? Is that what's going on here?
I'm gonna go with you on the Cardinals. I'm gonna let you ride. Every time I take the Cowboys, you guys seem to do me in. So I'm taking the Cardinals on this one, but it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close.
I mean, come on, man. They lost their starting quarterback and the defense sucks.
Herman, who you got?
So Darian, our guest next week, he's going with the Cardinals.
Ooh.
And you know, I know I love my boys, but I picked these games to be right. So I'm picking the Cardinals. I just don't see.
I didn't see that one coming.
I don't see how. You know, Dak is what kept us in games. Andy Dalton, he's going to be okay. He's going to do okay. But if our defense was playing better, I'd be fine with it. But I don't see how we're going to get past the Cardinals. Hopkins, oh my God, he might put up 200 on our secondary.
I can see him set some type of.
And then you got that little shifty quarterback, man, Kyler Murray. I mean, you watch him run, his little legs, it look like a cartoon.
little Mighty Mouse.
Yeah. He might rush for 100. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I hope I'm completely wrong, but I'm going with the Cardinals. I can't do it.
All right. Next game we got is the 4-0 Green Bay Packers taking on the 3-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Where did you start it off, Gregory? Who you got on this one, Gregory?
Going with Aaron Rodgers, man. I'm going with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers been playing. He another MVP candidate, and I think they're gonna beat Tampa pretty good.
Herman, who you got?
So Darian, he's going with the Packers, and I'm taking the Packers too. It's hard to pick against Aaron Rodgers. The way that Tampa is playing late game, you know, there's still something's not right yet with Tampa. So I'm going with the Packers. Plus the Packers are coming off a bye week. Everybody will be healthy. He'll have Devontae Adams back.
Oh,
yeah, I think I'm gonna ride that thunder, y'all. I think I'm taking Green Bay. Green Bay is well rested, yeah, like you said. And then the biggest thing I look at is they've been doing a great job of protecting him too. He only been sacked 3 times so far, and the Tampa Bay lost their nose tackle, Vita Vega, to the season. So I don't see him getting pressure. Therefore, I see Green Bay back there throwing the pill all day long. I'm taking Green Bay. Who you got, Marcus?
Yeah, so, you know, in this battle of the Bays, I'm gonna have to go ahead and go with Green Bay. You know, like you said, Aaron Rodgers, he seemed like he on a mission this season. If it wasn't for Russell Wilson, he would definitely be number one in the MVP candidate race. And like Herman said, Devontae Adams is coming back. He's gonna light Tampa Bay up. So I'm going with Green Bay.
Who you got, Brian?
Yeah, you know, Vegas don't really want y'all to pick on this game because they only got the Packers favored by a point. Like Herman was saying, the Packers are coming off a bye, but the Bucs are kind of coming off a mini bye after losing to the Bears on Thursday. But there was a statistic I didn't realize. Green Bay has scored 30-plus points in their last 4 games and have a goose egg when it comes to the turnover game. Like y'all were saying, man, it's hard to go against them Packers. Vegas thinks it's going to be closer than that, but I got a feeling that Aaron Rodgers is going to keep on going. Give me the Packers.
All right. The last game on the list. Did I do you? Did I do you, Gregory? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Mm-hmm. I got the Packers.
Sorry. Okay. Last game I got on the list is the 4-1 Cleveland Browns taking on the 4-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm gonna go last on this one, y'all.
Yeah, we know.
We're gonna start this off with you, Herman. Who you got on this one?
All right, so Darian's going with the Steelers, and I'm going with the Steelers too. Home game for the Steelers. Ben's elbow still healthy. I'm not 100% buying the Browns just yet. They pull this game off, and then I'll buy them. So it's good division, good divisional game. This should be probably one of the best games of the weekend, I would think. So I'm going with the Steelers.
Who you got, Brian?
Cleveland has already lost a divisional game to the Ravens this year. The Steelers, with Roethlisberger against the Browns, he's 22-2-1. 22-2-1. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be victorious in this game. The Browns are a fraud.
Who you got, Gregory?
Fraud.
The Browns, man. Oh, I'm going with the Browns, man. Like I said, the Browns is a contender. The Browns are a contender, and watch, they're gonna get a division. Come on, Mark. Browns gonna get it done, man. Dude.
Marcus, who you got?
I didn't know that Brian gave, but I think that says it all. I mean, I think the Browns might be a contender, but right now the Steelers, they look back to form. They got Juju there. They got that the wide receiver from last week. Even though he's never going to have another week like that, but I still picked him up with fans anyway. I was like, it couldn't hurt. It's and their defense and the Steelers defense is like back to normal. And plus, I have them in fantasy too, so I need them to do good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Steelers.
All right, this was tough for me, y'all. Big Ben.
It is not. You a line, and
it is not.
Let me get my pick in. All right.
Get your pick in, but stop these lies. I'm not going to listen to you lie. This is tough. Browns, Mark. Go ahead.
Big Ben seems to have found a new target every week. With that, they make this defense dangerous. They can attack on you. The Browns pass rush is good. Myles Garrett, this is the first game coming back since that incident with him and Mason Rudolph.
Did he do the dramatic pose? He did the dramatic pose.
I don't know who you're picking.
I don't want them to lose, but I'm gonna have to go with Gregory. I think the Browns gonna pull this one out, y'all. I think we're gonna be up for a letdown. I think it'll be for a letdown. I think this is it.
So you're picking the Browns.
I'm taking the Browns. I'm with you, Gregory. I think the Browns.
Look at Herman.
In the 3 years we've done this show, he has never picked against Pittsburgh, I don't think.
Not against the Browns.
I think it's a mind trick. I think it's a mind trick.
Let me tell you that statistic again.
22-2-1.
Listen
to this. He plays better in Ohio than he does in Pittsburgh. I think Cleveland has enough to beat us right now. They've done it before. I think they can.
Twice. They've done it twice.
I think they can do it.
Okay.
That wraps up the show. Marcus, take us on out of here, Marcus.
The thought. You're going to do a thought of the week or no?
We're not going to do thoughts of the week.
I'm sorry. I got all in wrapped in it yet. Final thoughts of the week. Gregory, since you're our guest, you start off with us. What's your final thought of the week?
I don't even know. I just hope it's a good week of football, man. I hope it's less injuries, no new COVID cases, and we just all get to enjoy football, man.
Yeah. Kind of like same thing here, man. I'm tired of hearing about these new cases. I just don't want to see this the season comes to a shortened or early stop for not taking themselves seriously or not taking this COVID thing seriously. I agree with you on that one. Brian, who you got? What's your thoughts?
Apparently, I'm becoming old fuddy-duddy in my old age because I'm just wondering, where is the D in the NFL anymore? You can barely name 5 good teams that have a good defense. People are going up and down the field and just scoring at will. I don't know if it's because of COVID. I don't know if it's because of not practicing, but it would be nice to have some more defense in the NFL.
Herman?
2 things. Make sure you get out to vote and vote early. I went and dropped my ballots off at the Board of Elections on Monday, and I got an email back saying that my ballot had been received. So make sure you get out there to vote. I'm gonna touch on the Dak thing one more time for my final thought. A lot of people are mad at the Cowboys because they didn't pay Dak. And, it's a business. It's the business of football. It's easy for us to sit back and say what somebody should pay when it's not our money. So, think about that. Why are we mad and Dak's not mad?
How you know you're not mad?
Because you haven't seen any of it. And if he's not mad and he's just playing the game, then just wish the best for Dak. Let's leave it at that. But again, it's always easy for us to say what somebody should have did when we're not paying. And Dak's not hurting for money. He's making $34 million this year, and with his endorsements, he's making a whole lot more. So I want to see him get paid. Don't think that I don't want to see him get paid, because I do. I think he deserves to get paid. But at the same time, just let it all play out. Whatever's best for Dak, that's what's going to happen.
Cool. All right, Marcus. Final thoughts.
My final thoughts is on Dak too. I just like I said, I'm not a Cowboys fan. I give much props to Dak. I wish him a.
You are a Cowboys fan.
No. I wish him a speedy and healthy recovery. I'm about to get muted, Holly. If you don't shut up.
You can mute me, but you're a Cowboys fan.
No, I'm not. Like I said, I wish Dak a speedy recovery.
Oh,
and like Gregory said, hope these COVID cases go down. And every week I emphasize, hey man, y'all, everybody take this thing serious, especially the NFL players. And another thing I saw, I forget which game it was, might have been one of these primetime games. They still talking to each other and hugging each other and giving each other daps after the game.
Yeah, that needs
Come
to
on,
stop.
man.
That needs
I mean,
to stop.
the NFL needs to shut that down real quick. Stop letting them do that. I understand, it's been a rough game and you want to go congratulate, the other team. But this is COVID. There's no need for that right now. Just win the game, lose the game, and go off the team.
Is it really that big a deal? You just finished slobbering on each other in offense.
Okay, think about this, Brian. An offensive player from one team would never have been on the field with another offensive player from the other team.
Exactly.
So that cross contamination right there.
It
doesn't matter though.
I'm just saying that. If one of them has it, they're all going to get it.
It's unnecessary.
I don't think that hug is going to make a difference.
It's unnecessary contact, though. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, it's unnecessary contact.
Just real quick, did y'all see the thing about how they trade the jerseys now?
No.
They exchange jerseys at the end of the game. Now they mail them to each other. They go talk to, hey man, let me get a jersey, and they sign it. Then the guy at the locker room, he washes it and puts it in a box, and they mail them to each other. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, that's crazy.
All right. Take us out, Marcus.
All right, before we get out of here, I want to once again thank Gregory for coming out. We appreciate you coming out, Gregory. Glad to have you here.
Thank y'all.
So you can catch us on YouTube at the Lev Game. Be sure you like, share, subscribe. Help us get those views and likes up. You can catch us on Twitter at the Lev Game 3. You can catch us on Instagram at the official Lev Game, and also catch us on Facebook on our Facebook group, the Lev Game. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We out.
Peace.